Happy Saturday, everybody. Here we are back at the Wawas getting ready for a different adventure than usual. I am headed down into Philadelphia for the Pax Unplugged convention. This is a board game convention, and I'm not talking Monopoly. I'm talking about all the indie designers and cutting edge games and stuff that you probably haven't seen before. And this is a great place to get to experience all of it. This convention was started by an organization. They run video game conventions on both the East and West Coast and a couple of other places. But they were getting so much interest in just board games specifically, and role-playing games, tabletop games, anything that's non-digital, that 6 years ago they had their first PAX Unplugged here in Philadelphia, and it was hugely successful beyond what they'd even expected. They'd actually scheduled it the same weekend as the Philadelphia Marathon, and the two groups fighting for space in the convention hall was kind of a nightmare. So the next year they moved it back a week, and everything's been hunky-dory ever since. It takes up the entire convention center, so this thing is huge. So I'm really excited to get there. This is the first time back in person since COVID started, and I'm really excited to take you along and show you what a convention looks like. So I'm getting gas, I'm getting snacks, gotta have your snacks. So we will see you on the road. So I don't know if you can hear me over the noise in the convention hall. There's Nikki. And I wasn't kidding when I said this is a big convention. It takes up the entire Philadelphia Convention Center. This area here is all vendors. These are all game designers, game marketers. They make all the tchotchkes that go with board gaming of all different kinds. Role-playing, figures, regular board games, everything. Anything like that you're going to find here. Down at that far end, it's all open tables for gaming. They have a giant library where you can check out any game, new or old, and just sit down at the table and play it. They have tournaments going on all day. They have panelists coming in to talk. There's just all sorts of stuff going on, and you can see there are a ton of people here. We were in a line, well, you saw the pictures, wrapped all the way around this block. But they are so good at managing this convention. It took us almost no time to get in here once the line started moving. So everybody has these wristbands to show that we've proved our vaccine status. So that's all taken care of for the weekend. We do have to wear the masks all weekend, except when we're eating. I got no problem with that now that my glasses have stopped steaming up. So Nikki and I have a routine. We're gonna start at that end, where all the independent game designers are. We like to start out with the small guys. The big guys get plenty of attention, but I like to see what the new people are doing. So we're gonna start shopping, and I will show you what we see. after an intense 4 hours of hitting every stall to see what they had and having some lunch and having a surprise visit from my son, who I didn't know he was coming here. Who knew? They never tell me anything. I hit a wall. I had a really rough night last night. I was having really bad neck and shoulder spasms. So I only got like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Yeah, so Nikki was very kind and let me crash here on a couch in a very quiet corner of the convention center.
I like the girl I am.
So, and it looks like she's been checking out some of her stuff while I was sleeping. And I did. I think I slept for 45 minutes. I was out cold, and I wouldn't have thought I'd sleep that well on just a cushion in the hallway. But, alright. So, my feet are hurting, and the orthotics are not helping. So, I brought a pair of slippers, and I may wear those for a little while. But now we got to figure out, there's a couple of games we want to go play the demos of and see what else we want to do. I think I'm going to check my bag because it's very heavy and very full of stuff. I made the classic blunder of buying too much too soon.
I'd like to do another loop.
Oh, Nikki wants to do another loop, so we're going to do another loop.
If you're
Absolutely. So, let's get back in there and see what they got. So that's day one done, and very successfully, I might add.
Yep.
I got all my Christmas shopping done. My family tradition is I buy each of the kids a book, a board game, and something else related to their interests. So board games are acquired for all 3 children, and for Nikki, despite her best efforts. Trying to sabotage me yet again.
I already forgot. Goldfish great.
And I did buy 2 games for myself, but I confirmed with the only person who would buy me board games that she was not buying me either of these games. So, and she wants to play them with me, so we're on the same page. All right, so we are headed back to Nikki's place for the evening. Our feet are done in. We did 10,000 steps on really hard concrete. I had to take my shoes off, and fortunately I brought a pair of slippers to wear, so just to give our feet a break. So we're gonna order Thai food in and sit and play some of our new games and some of Nikki's old games, and we're gonna just have a quiet evening in, and then we're gonna go out and do this all again tomorrow. So have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. So starting day 2, I've got Nikki with me, and we decided we were going to go out for breakfast, knowing that this was probably going to be a real crapshoot on whether we could get in here at all. This is the Down Home Diner. It's at Reading Terminal Market. I've been by this a million times, but never been in, and sure enough, the line was out the door. But
it's good. I've been here.
Oh, Nikki's been here, so I'm getting a good rating from her. So today is going to be a spend all the money day. We're going to have breakfast, and then we're going to hit the the convention, and I have a list as long as my arm of stuff that I'm gonna get, and Nikki's gonna get whatever moves her in the moment. So.
I'm a crow. It's shiny. I'll take it.
But we did try some of our new games last night. Cultists and Cthulhu, very fun game, very easy mechanic, but it got very silly when we started naming all the cultists and stealing them from each other.
Clarence is the best.
Clarence is the best. Clarence always wins. Clarence is very good at summoning Cthulhu.
And he stays sane.
And he stays sane. So they had another game called Lumberjacks and Sasquatches that we want to see if the game mechanic is similar to what we had in that. And so, and there's a couple of demos we want to do, and I need to get a new board game bag because the cat's peed on my old one. So lots of fun stuff today, but a lot of spending money today. All right, 2 hours in, and I'm striking out. The board game bag that I wanted to buy, they are entirely sold out, and it had to have happened in the last hours last night because they had plenty of stock when we left here. I did get one of the board games that I wanted, called Flapjacks and Sasquatches, which it plays similarly to the Cultists and Cthulhu game that we played last night that we really enjoyed. So I also got both the expansions for it. The other game that I really wanted to get, I couldn't find the table for it anywhere. But fortunately this morning we had run into the guy who was demoing it for us yesterday. So we came back, found him, and asked him where their booth was. So now we know where their booth is, so we're going to go back and try and score that. But we've been out here for 2 hours. Feet are hurting. That concrete is hell on your feet. So we're taking a 10-minute break, and then we'll get back to it. So we are wrapping it up. We spent 2.5 good hours shopping. I did finally find the Night Cage, so I'm excited to have that. But I'm too tired to play it. We did take a couple hours to sit and have some lunch and play one of our new games, and some of these tiny box games have really big games inside them, so that was really fun. But so now I've got to pack up all my treasures and get it all organized and back home. I said to Nikki, at least I'd spent the weekend with a backpack on my back. I got a brand new game bag that is just like wearing a backpack and weighs about as much as my overnight backpack does. So thanks for coming along. I hope you saw something that interested you. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I know this is a little different than my usual material, but I love talking board games as much as I love talking hiking. So hit me up and we'll have a conversation. We're coming up on the holidays, so I'm going to do something next weekend. It's actually my birthday weekend. So I'm going to get out there and do something to celebrate. Not sure what yet. And then we've got Christmas and New Year's, and I'm definitely going to be hiking both of those. So I hope you have a great week. Go play a board game with a family member or with yourself, because there's a lot of good solo games out there too. And I will see you next time I go out. Take care. Bye-bye.